4. Catherine the Great and the expansion of the empire, 18th century. Catherine the Great, 1762 to 1796, born in Prussia, Catherine married Tsar Peter III and came to power after his overthrow. Catherine expanded the empire significantly, securing large parts of Poland, the Black Sea coast, and parts of the Caucasus. She was a patron of the arts and education, making Russia a cultural center of Europe. Her reign is often seen as one of the golden ages of the Russian Empire, but it was also marked by the continued repression of serfs. 5. Napoleonic Wars and the early 19th century. Alexander I, 1801 to 1825. Alexander's reign was defined by his role in the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte. He initially allied with Napoleon but later turned against him, leading Russia's involvement in the critical campaigns that defeated Napoleon in 1812. Alexander's reign also saw the beginning of social and political unrest within Russia as liberal ideas spread across Europe. Nicholas I, 1825 to 1855. Following the death of Alexander I, his brother Nicholas I ascended the throne. Nicholas was a conservative ruler who sought to suppress revolutionary movements and maintain autocracy. His reign was marked by the Decembrist Revolt of 1825, a failed uprising by a group of Russian nobles who sought reforms. Nicholas also focused on strengthening Russia's military and expanded its influence in Central Asia. 6. The Reign of Reform and the Path to Revolution. Alexander II, 1855 to 1881, known as the Tsar Liberator, Alexander II is best known for emancipating the serfs in 1861, a major reform that changed the social and economic fabric of Russia. His reign also saw military modernization and attempts to create a more modern state. However, his reforms were only partial, and many Russians, especially the peasants, did not benefit significantly. He was assassinated by radical revolutionaries in 1881. Alexander III, 1881 to 1890, for the son of Alexander II, Alexander III took a more repressive approach after his father's assassination. He emphasized autocracy and nationalism, curtailing many of the liberal reforms introduced by his father. Under his rule, Russia saw increasing repression of minorities, including Jews, and greater censorship. Despite this, Russia's economy continued to grow. Nicholas II, 1894 to 1917, the last Romanov Tsar, Nicholas II, ascended to the throne in 1894. His reign saw the industrialization of Russia, but also growing dissatisfaction among the Russian people due to poverty, oppression, and inequality. The Russo-Japanese War, 1904 to 1905, ended in a humiliating defeat for Russia, sparking the 1905 revolution, which led to some reforms, including the creation of the Duma parliament. However, Nicholas II's inability to address the demands of the people led to further unrest. 7. The Fall of the Romanovs, 1917. World War I and the February Revolution. Nicholas II's decision to enter World War I put immense strain on Russia's economy and military. By 1917, Russia was suffering massive casualties, food shortages, and economic disarray. The February Revolution of 1917, sparked by protests and strikes in Petrograd, now St. Petersburg, forced Nicholas II to abdicate the throne in favor of his son, Alexei, who was too ill to rule. The Provisional Government and the October Revolution. After Nicholas's abdication, a provisional government was established, but it failed to resolve the issues facing Russia. The Bolsheviks, led by Vladimir Lenin, seized power in the October Revolution of 1917. The Romanov family was imprisoned by the Bolsheviks, and they were ultimately executed on July 17, 1918, in Ekaterinburg, marking the brutal end of the Romanov Dynasty. 8. Legacy. The fall of the Romanovs marked the end of over 300 years of autocratic rule in Russia and the beginning of a communist state. The Romanovs' execution became a symbol of the end of the old Russian aristocracy and the rise of Soviet power. In the years following the revolution, many in Russia mourned the loss of the royal family, and their story became a potent symbol of Russia's tumultuous transition from empire to revolution. In the 21st century, the Romanovs have been the subject of considerable historical and cultural interest, with some members of the family, such as Anastasia, even the subject of myths and legends. The remains of Tsar Nicholas II and his family were discovered in 1991, and in 2000, they were canonized as martyrs by the Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia. The Romanovs' reign, with its grandiosity, tragedies, and ultimate downfall, remains one of the most compelling chapters in European history.